नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अस्तु, नमः सर्वेभ्यः। स्वागतं सुस्वागतम्। अद्य कक्षां प्रारम्भयामः वा? Okay. Any one volunteer who wants to do the dhyana shlokas today?
Yes, I can volunteer. So, Ashoka.
Ashok Mahadev Karishyatu. Let me share the screen. And you can I will do one thing. I will for everyone, and I'll also spotlight you. Okay. Do the first two once, then I will just will go over the other two, and then next week onwards all four can be done. All right? Yeah. Yeah, you can start with this.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada.
Couple of things. Here also, Nirvignam Kurume Deva. Kakagaganga. Please note that. That is one. And Vidyarambham Karishyami. Everything else were perfect. The Kakagaganga sound should come, not the Makara.
Anuswara should change.
Okay. Astva? Okay. Let's go to the next shloka, which is Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha.
Repeat once more. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu. Repeat twice.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Okay, this is correct. The Makara has to be heard. You are right. It should not be Parabrahma. So, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. If you can just do once more, that will help everybody.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Uttama. Next one as well. Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashyakaram Patanjalim Panini Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam.
Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashakaram Patanjalim Panani Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Muneshwaram Munitrayam. Second time I should repeat.
Yeah, preferably.
Vakyakaram Vararuchim Bhashakaram Patanjalim Paninim Sutrakaracha Pranatosmi Munitrayam.
Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyawadaha.
The next one is a Veda mantra. I will not be teaching or doing anything on this. So I will just chant. Anybody who knows this mantra can be on chant and being on mute. All right.
I can continue.
Sahano
Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai
Navadhitamastu
Tamastu
Mahavishawahai. Om Shanti
Shanti Shanti.
Okay. So first, let's recap what we did in the last class. Purasmaranam kritva ekvaram agre gamishyamah. Astu va prashnaha sandhi chet, you can ask now after we just recap things. Okay. So last class we saw what was called the Shiva Sutrani. Then we also saw Swaraha, Trayodasha Swaraha, Matraha, that is Rasva Dirgha Pluta, Ashtadasha Ucharanaha, Kimartam Bhavishyanti, Tadartam Drishtavantaha, Udatta, Anudatta, Swarita, Tadanantaram, Anuswara, Ananuswara, Idi Drishtavantaha. Ayogavaha, Dvau Ayogavaha api Drishtavantaha. Those were the Anuswara and Visarga. Vyanjanani Sarvada Ardhamatrakam eva Vishyanti iti Drishtavantaha. Panchavimshati or 25 Vargiya Vyanjanani, that is Kakagagaga, Kavarga, Chavarga, Tavarga, all these we saw, which were the Vargiya Vyanjanani. Then amongst the Avargiya Vyanjanani, Kim Drishtavantaha, Yara Lava, Te Antastaha Asan, Tadanantara Shashasaha, Te Ushma Varnaha Asan, Kimartam Ushma Varnaha, Kimartam Antastaha, Iti Drishtavantaha. Tadanantaram Alpa Prana, Mahapranaha, Anunasikaha, Yete Sarve api Drishtavantaha. Tadanantaram Gudita Aksharani api Drishtavantaha. Astu. Prashnaha santi va? Any questions? Uttamam. So if there are no questions, should we move to today's class? And preferably everybody have your videos on, that will help everyone, so that everybody can see everybody also. And since it's recorded, being streamed, it will give a touch to how we are doing things.
Matraha Yogavahakaha ka Punaracharito.
Matraha Ayogavaho. Matraha Hrasva Dirgha Pluta. Hrasva Kim Akara. Let's take the case of A is one matra, if you consider that, a is dvimatra, that is akara. Now, if we go with a longer this one, which said, I gave the example of Kashchana Gacchati. That is a very long this one. You're contemplating, that gives a different meaning. Right? So we said that was Pluta. So
Smrita.
in a very contextual English way, I gave a very humorous example where you say, go straight, take a left, go straight, take a left, go straight, and then you'll reach somewhere. Right? So there is no such thing as a straight, and straight in English. There's only one word called straight. But there's an Indianization of our this one where we use this one very contextually. Astva? Okay. Any other
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
question?
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಅಯೋಗವಾಹಕ
Ayoga Vahav are um, Anuswara and Visarga. Anuswara will never ever go with any Vyanjana. They necessarily go with a Swara only. Okay, im, etc. Okay, then we have Visarga very similarly. They do not have any independent existence of their own. When they combine, they necessarily need to combine with a Swarakshara only, one of those 13, to give some meaning. In, etc. Similarly, aha, ihi. We did all those things in the last class.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
There are two of them. There are two more, but they're not Ayogavaha. They have something else. We will look at them at some other point in time. Okay. Suprabha Mahodaya.
Namaste, Mahodaya. I had a doubt while practicing Gunitaksharani. After ka, ki, ku, kr, we have. In that, how to write that ka with matra, with the swara, how to do that samyojana?
Yeah, crow. So you put, okay, I'll think, do I have that here? Let me. Yeah, let me just share the screen here. Saw this one. So do you see this? Takara plus Rukara. Through.
After that we have we have, no?
This is just Dhru. For instance, this is Dhru.
Yeah, that is we have la with the
lakara
with rakara.
Okay. Last time I had a slide. I had it. For the time you can ignore it. You what you do is it is usually written as a lakara with a rukara.
In Gunitakshara, how to do that samyojana with the swara? With ka, with the rakara.
Okay. Understood.
Because in that YouTube practice, they have shown that.
Okay. Give me a minute. Let me just see if I can bring this. Can everybody see my screen? Can you all see?
Yes, Mahodaya.
Okay. Let us say you want to write k plus r. This is what you asked for, no?
Yes, sir.
This is how it will become.
Okay. And in that YouTube practice session, they had given that Gunitakshara. For few Vyanjanas, they write this. And for few, it is not there. From card in the Vargiya Vyanjana, they have shown Gunitakshara in a systematic way. For few Vyanjanas, they have shown this klr. But for few Vyanjanas, they have just ignored it, and they have from u, r, a, I, o. Only
The
those.
r is not a common usage in day-to-day Sanskritam anyways. So that is the reason.
Because only in Ka I saw this application, but other Vyanjanas I didn't see.
That is where it comes. That is one place it comes.
Okay. Dhanyavad Mahoday. Dhanyavad.
Astu. Astu. Asti. Subramani Mahoday, you have a question.
Yes, yeah, so in many words in Sanskrit ends with the sound aha. For example, Dhanyavadaha. I always had a doubt how to pronounce it, whether it's a Dhanyavada or Dhanyavadaha.
It should be Dhanyavadaha. We will see
So
that today.
Right,
today I will speak a little more when we do Sayukta Aksharani.
Okay. But normally they pronounce it as Dhanyavada.
No,
but the right pronunciation
is Dhanyavada. In Sanskritam, it has to be Dhanyavadaha or Dhanyavadaha or however, whatever is written there. It should be full Akshara. The last Akshara should not be with a halanta. Unless there is a halanta, you don't stop with Ardha Matra. Purna Matra has to be pronounced.
Okay. Okay. Dhanyavad.
Okay. Anya kopi prashnaha santi va? Astu. Agre gamishyamaha. Okay. I think Pratibha Mahodaya has a question.
One question was when we say that Vyanjana is always Ardha Akshara. So when in the homework also, now when we are asked to write, we usually write it with Akara, right? Or should we write half Akshara?
No, with Akara. Because that is taken as a default.
Okay.
So that is taken as a default to write it with Akara. So that it can be very easily pronounced. So when you say that, otherwise you say Kakara, Chakara, and all those. This one. Okay. Then two more people raise their hands. Who are they? Anybody else? I saw some more hands, but that's okay. Okay. So Agre Gamishyamaha. Screen drishyate va? Astu Pratibha Mahodaya ekam karyam kriyatam. Now that you're in spotlight, can you just quickly go through these so that we can just do a quick revision and then move forward?
Ka yojana ka, kha yojana a kha, cha yojana I chi.
So let's get to the practice of Kakara, Khakara, Chakara, Ikara, Akara, Akara kind of thing. Let's not just stop with K. It may be a little confusing. And let's not even do that. It's a little this one. So let's get used to this way of doing it. All right. Yeah.
So Chakara, Yojana, I, Chi.
Ikara.
Ikara. Okay. So Dakara, Yojana, Ukara, Dhu. Dakara, Yojana, Ukara, Du. Dakara, Ru Yojana, Dhru. takara, ru yojana, through, makara, e yojana, may. Yakara, yojana, yekara, I.
Aikara.
Aikara. Okay.
Yai. It is
Yai.
not Yakara yojana aikara yai.
Yai. Rakara, yojana, ukara, ru. Lakara, yojana.
1 minute. This is not rakara. Just to make sure we are pronouncing it right and differentiating with rakara, which is here. This is called refa.
Refa.
Okay. Refa yojana ukara ru.
Refa yojana ukara ru. Lakara yojana ikara li. Vakara yojana ekara ve. Shakara yojana ikara shi. Shakara yojana okara sho. Sakara yojana akara sa. Hakara yojana okara ho. I forgot that.
Refa.
Refa. Refa yojana ukara ru.
Uttam. Dhanyavadah, Mahatya.
Dhanyavad.
Okay. Now, let's move ahead and see Adya Prathamatah Sanyuktakshirani Artham Kim. What is the meaning of a Sanyuktakshara? We saw Gunitakshara, we saw Visarga, we saw Swara, Vyanjana, etc. Sanyuktakshirani Arthat Kim. Yada, we saw what happens when we combine a Vyanjana with a Swara. That we call Gunitakshara. When we combine a Vyanjana and a Swara, or just Vyanjana and Vyanjana, what we get are Sayuktaksharas. As well as Sayuktaksharani. Udaharane, Kakara Yojana Kakara Kha. Kakara Yojana Lakara Kla. Chakara Yojana Chakara Yakara Chakara. Gakara Yojana Nakara Gna Nakara. So just observe that there are two ways of representing. This is mostly a font issue and how you write it. The na can be written at the bottom. This is not gra. The gra will just have a light. Here if you see there is a small nakara, this one that is coming out. While writing, we usually use this format, the second one, which is an easier way to write. Similarly, Shakara Yojana Chakara. Shcha. That can be written in two ways, either this way or this way. Both are acceptable. Similarly, some things we will write well like this. Dakara Yojana Yakara Dya. It can be going like this or it can become this way. Then we have Dhakara Yojana Yakara Dya. Takara Yojana Makara Ma. Makara Yojana Rakara Mra. So you see the difference between the Refa and the Nakara. When we have the Refa, it is just a single line, and here you have this small, this one coming out for Na. So that is something that you may want to note. In a lot of fonts, you will find this usage. And don't confuse that for Gra and Na. So Agri will have a different meaning and Agni will have a different meaning. So be very careful while reading. Okay. Whose turn is it today? Who wants to start? Okay. Aparna Mahodaya, Karishyati va? Or we'll start with Vinay Mahodaya today. We'll start from the other end. Vinay Mohdaya, can you unmute and read this?
Kakara Yojana Kakara Ka. Kakara Yojana Lakara Kla. Chakara Yojana Yakara Ch. Gakara Yojana Nakara Gna. Shakara Yojana Chakara Sh. Dakara Yojana Yakara Dya. Dhakara Yojana Yakara Dya. Sakara Yojana Makara Thma. Makara Yojana Refa Mra.
Correct. Continue with these also. These are also Sayuktakshara with the swaras.
Kakara Yojana Ikara Ki. Kakara Yojana Lakara Yojana Ekara Kle. Chakara Yojana Yakara Yojana Akara Ch. Gakara Yojana Nakara Yojana Imkara Gnim. Shakara Yojana Chakara Yojana Ukara Schu. Dakara Yojana Yakara Yojana Okara Dyo. Dhakara Yojana Yakara Yojana Aha Dhyaha. Takara Yojana Makara Yojana Ekara Tme. Makara Yojana Rakara Yojana Ikara Mri. Refa, sorry. Refa Yojana Ikara Mri.
Just one more point. Here when you are saying aha, preferably say akara yojana visarga, because that will make it very explicit. Similarly, here when we say nim, ikara yojana anuswara. So that will make explicitly clear that this is what we are using, because im can also be written as e and makara.
Sure, sir.
Right. So just to make all those things clear, we will go with this way. Dhanyavadaha, Mahodaya. Uttam. Astu. Now, yeah, can anybody, who is the next one who wants to try this? Let's go with Uma Mahodaya. Let me share my screen. Greta Mahodaya.
I'm not very sure of that's Vra, no?
Vra.
Okay. So Vra, so Vakara plus Refa plus Akara. Brim.
Brimva.
Brim.
Bream.
Okay. Bakara plus Refa plus Ikara. Then
Anuswara.
Yeah,
Anuswara PST.
I didn't get you, sorry.
Anuswara.
Which is Anuswara? The E.
Bream, Eam. Kila?
Then it is Chrome. Read it.
Oh, you are reading on a mobile phone or you are reading on a
on my laptop only.
Okay.
I'm just Kakara plus Refa.
Okay, just read this and try what this is going to become.
Okay.
Try that.
That is Crow. That is Kar plus Crame.
It is not A, it is I.
Crime.
Okay.
Kakara plus Refa plus I'm Anuswara.
I plus Anuswara.
Okay, I'm plus Anuswara. Okay. Shakara plus Chakara plus
Aukara.
Okay.
And There are two dots, no?
That is Anuswara again. No.
Visarga.
Visarga. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And what does this
This
become?
now, yeah, that's a challenge. Sure, that is sorry, no, sorry, I got
Chauhu.
chow. Okay. Thank you.
You can do the next one also, next line also.
Okay. Kakara plus Refa plus Au plus Anuswara. So that is crow.
Crown.
Dakara plus Refa plus E. That is Visarga. And this is Drihi.
Drihi.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Astu.
Thank you.
Perhaps practice it a little bit this time. Okay. Okay. We will see who is next now. Then who is there next? Let me see. Usha Mahodaya.
Okay, yes, sir.
Usha. Okay. Oh, you are at two places. So
Yeah.
you are a special person. Okay.
No, the last time that laptop was not audible, so I thought I connected with my mobile also.
I share the screen. Okay. Okay. Start from the fourth line.
Gakara plus la plus e. Glee. Is it correct?
Glee.
Glee. Okay. Ma yojana ya plus a. Nya. Kha yojana a. Twa.
क्षम्यतां महोदय तत्र वकार is missing, I think. Twa.
Atra vakara. Uttam. Kshamyata. Yes, I'll change it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting. Right. Atra vakara agantum shakyat.
Okay. Kha plus tha plus wa plus a. Twa.
Right.
Shakara plus thakara plus wakara plus a. Shtwa.
So when you're saying takara, make it takara, you are sounding like Mahaprana. Tha. It should not be tha, it is ta.
Shtwa.
Shtwa. Not shtwa. It is shtwa. Shtwa.
Shtwa. Shtwa.
Alpa prana eva.
Shtwa.
We will say why it should be shtwa and from how to where that sound is coming from in our nasal system. Astu.
Sakara plus fa plus akara.
Pakara.
Pakara. Fa. Pakara. Spa.
Spa. Correct.
Spa. Dakara plus vakara plus akara. Akara. Dwa.
Atrapi, it should be dhakara.
Dha. Okay. Dhakara plus vakara plus akara. Dwa.
Uttam. Dhanyavada, Mahodaya. We'll request somebody else to go about now. Who is there? Vishwa Mahodaya.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Rakara Yojana, Yakara Yojana, Akara Visarga, Ryaha.
It is not Raka, it's Refa. That's okay.
Refa, okay.
Ryaha.
Ryaha, okay.
As in
Refa.
Aryaha. You have heard of Aryaha.
Yeah.
So Ryaha.
Ryaha. Refa Yojana Takara Yojana E 3.
Ikara. 3.
3.
Not 3. It is 3.
3.
Rti. It is not even 3. It is Rti.
Riti.
The Refa is before the Takara. Please note that.
Okay.
Rti. 3 will be when the Refa is after the Takara.
So this should be pronounced as Riti.
Riti.
Riti. Riti.
As in Kartik.
Chakara Yojana Refa Yojana E Chi.
Shri.
Shri. Shri.
Chri. Chri.
Chri. Chri. Pakara Yojana Lakara Yojana U Plu.
Right. Ukara.
Plu. Plu. Okay. Dakara Yojana Refa Yojana A Dre.
Is it A?
I.
Ikara. So what does it become?
Dry.
Dry. Exactly. So dry. If you write dry in Sanskritam, this is how it will look.
Sakara Yojana Makara Yojana R Smru.
Smru. Uttamam. Smru. Correct. As it's Smruti. Right. So Smruti is written this way. If anybody is writing Smruti as Smra with a Ukara, then that is wrong. Smruti has to be written this way only. Smru. Astuva?
One more. Just to repeat, Rakara, Yojana, Takara, Yojana, E, it should be Riti.
Riti. Refa. Refa, Yojana, Takara, Yojana, Ikara.
Ikara. Okay.
So
Riti.
there it is, Rakara is before Takara. Okay. Dhanyavada. I thought I saw some hand. Who had raised their hand? Any question was, some question was there? Or was it answered? Any questions? Nothing, no? Astu. Brinda Madhya had raised your hand. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, when we had that Visarga, I, he, and Eem in that thing, we have to pronounce it as who only, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that Vyanjana will be like the Visarga will take the pronunciation of the
correct. Last
pronunciation,
swara.
last spelling. Yeah.
Last swara.
Last swara. Okay. Oh.
Like aha, ihi, ihi, tihi, taha, tehe, taihi, tauhu, etc.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Astu. Okay. Nagaprabha Mahadaya Uchitam.
Namaste Mahadaya. I have a question there. There is no fa, right? You told there is no fa.
Yes. Yeah.
How can you write refa?
Uttamam. Now, I also said that there is no fa, it is repa. And if it becomes refa, it becomes refa for a reason. There is a function which makes the phakara into fa. In the Varnamala, you do not have fakara. Fa is not there. It is right. But when you're pronouncing it, what happens is there is what is called a, okay, I'll not get into that today, but it should be repa. Refa is the right, this one. Okay. But it is pronounced as Refa for a reason. Because it comes after Rakara, and then when there is a Pa there is some conversion that makes it become Refa. So that's how it becomes.
So pronunciation is different, but writing is Pa only.
Pa only, yes. Yes.
Thank you.
In Hindi also, if people who come from the Hindi background, it is Pa. And earlier days, when we all learned Hindi, there used to be a bindu which was put below the Pa to make it Fa. Similarly, there used to be a dot below the Ja which used to be put to make it Za. Correct? So similarly, but in Sanskritam, there is a very different rule. What becomes a Upadmanya, we will not talk about it in this Varga at all, because it's a little more complicated. We need to know a little more Vyakarna to get there. Lot more Vyakarna to get there. So we will, for the timing, we'll just say it is Refa. Okay?
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavada. Any other questions? Okay. Let's go further. After this, I want to cover, there are actually 4 critical, 4 Sayuktaksharani that are written and used in a particular way. Okay. So let's go through them. They are called the Vishesha Sayuktaksharani. So 2 of, let me go through all of them. That is, one is Kakara Yojana, Shakara Yojana, Akara, Ksha. Takara Yojana, Refa Yojana, Akara, Tra. So this Ksha is like Kaksha, Kshama, etc. Tra, Trahima, Trayati, etc. can be there. Then Dakara Yojana, Alpa Pranada Yojana, Yakara Yojana, Adya, Adya, Yadyapi, etc. Then there is one more, that is Shakara Yojana, Rakara Yojana, Akara, which becomes Shra, Shri, then Shruti, Shrama, etc. are used, are very particularly giving a very different Akshara itself changes. So there is no relation between the way you write this Ksha versus the way this Ka and Sha are written. Similarly, this Tra, similarly this Shra, and similarly this Dya. They are Vishesha Sayukta Aksharani, and they are somewhere even some of the books also integrate them into the Varnamala itself. So we get the full complete Varnamala as if we integrate them. That's why I put this under the square bracket. Sometimes they get integrated. Some books give it as a integrated one. Some books do not give it as integrated. So technically we have about 52 of the Varnas. Varna, Dvipanchashat Varnaha Santi Varnamalayam. Astu va? Okay. Now what we are going to do is something simpler. Everybody has a pen and a paper. Everybody has a pen and a paper, or somebody needs to fetch it. Okay, everybody has a pen and a paper. Fantastic. So what I'm going to do, let's do a simple fun exercise here. Shruti Lekhanam Karishyamaha. How many understand the term Shruti Lekhanam? Vrinda Modi understood what is Shruti Lekhanam. Shruti Lekhanam arthat kim? Uchita Mahodaya.
I will answer in English though.
Tell me, what
You
is it?
listen and write. You will be telling us something and we have to write it, right?
Dictation.
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 Astu. Karishyama. I'll pronounce certain Sayuktaksharani. You can write it, then we will put it up and see how many are right, how many we are getting right, etc. etc. Shall we do that? Okay, let's do it for about 10 minutes. Okay. First one. If it is not clear, please. I'll not be saying all of you. So somebody just unmute yourself and say please tell me this one or please tell me that. All right. If you're not able to hear or get something right. Okay. First one. Bleehi. 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 Dvitiya. Klaihi. 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 Tritiya. Griyaha. 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 Chaturthi. Kshmi. Kshmi.
Mahodaya,
Kshmi.
please go slowly.
Oh, okay. Sure. Okay. First four are clear? Anybody needs a repeat?
Third one.
Okay, I'll repeat all four. Okay. Prathama blihi. Dvitiya klaihi. Tritiya griyaha. Griyaha. Chaturthi Kshmi. Kshmi as in Lakshmi. Kshmi. Panchama Dyauhu. 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 Shashti Myam. 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 Saptami Sra. 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 Ashtamaha Sha. Risha. Risha. Navama Shvaha. 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 Ekadashaha Tva. 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 Dvadashaha Tya. 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 Trayodashaha Rvam. Rvam as in Purvam. Rvam. 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 Astu. Trayodashaha Vyam. 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 Sye. 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 Jya. 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 Triya. Triya. Shriya. 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 Next one. Dva. Dva.
Mahodaya, please repeat the previous one.
Shriya.
Shreya.
Shriya. Dva, as in dhvani, dva. Next one. Ye. 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 This should be as in jnana. Ye. Next one. Swaha. 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 Svi. 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 Spa. 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 Next one. Bhyam. 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 Next one. Krauhu. 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 Next one. Grub. 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 Next one. Shye. 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 Next one. Nti. Nti. As in anti. Nti. Nti. Next one. Twi. Twi. As in prithvi. Twi. Next one. Dma. 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 Next one. Dva. Dva. Dva.
Previous one. Previous one.
Previous one was Dma.
Dma.
Dma. After Dma was Dbha. After Dbha, it is Daihi. Daihi. Daihi as in Shabdaihi. Daihi. Okay. Next one. Kshaha. 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 Next one. Astu. We will stop here. How many have we done?
32.
30?
2.
3.
3.
I thought we did 36.
33.
36.
33.
32, is it?
33.
33.
33.
After Nyam, I missed. After Nyam, 7th. Huh?
Ye. After Ye.
No, after 7th one, Nyam.
Nyam, nyam. Sra.
After that, something Sra. Sra.
Sra. Sra. Okay. Okay. Let me read out what all I told just now and then tell me how many we have done. Okay. Glihi. Klai. Kriyaha. ki, yauhu, nya, sra, sha, shvaha, tva, ya, rvam, rvam as in purvam, rvam, yam, ye, ya, ya. Which was that? What was that?
Yeah.
So far, so good. Okay. Yeah, Shriya, Dhva, Ye, Vaha, Vi, Spa, Yam, Grauhu, Ram, Shye, Di, Vi, Ma,
26th.
Dhva, Daihi, Yaha.
32, sir.
32. 32 is right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct. 32 should be correct. Right. Okay. What we will now do is, I'll put this up on the screen and then somebody will have to repeat. Who is now, who's going to do that? Uma Mahodaya is done, Usha Mahodaya is done. Then, Shivani. Shivani Mahodaya, video on Kartam Shakyate va. Uttama. Add spotlight, view gallery. Let me share my screen now. Uchita Mahodaya, please unmute yourself and speak.
Yes, sir. Lihi.
Are you allowed to be a little louder?
Okay. 1 second.
Or your mic, you'll have to be nearer to your mic.
Is this clear?
A little more, probably. Right.
Is this okay?
Yeah, this is okay.
Okay. So blihi, klaihi, griyaha, griyaha,
Griyaha.
griyaha.
Yes, and please note, if this is the right way of writing Griyaha, if anybody has written it this way, it is wrong.
Okay.
Because here the refa, the matra is coming after the yakara, which is not what I said. I said Griyaha.
I have written the wrong one.
Yes, same here.
Right? So, okay. Next.
Shmihi.
Shmihi. There is a visarga here. I didn't pronounce the visarga. If anybody has written just the Shmi, it is good enough.
Dyoha. Nyam. Stra. Sha.
Yeah.
Shvaha. Tva. Tya. Rvam. Vyam. Se. Ja. Triya.
Uttama. Dhanyavadaha. Let us see if there is who else can now do it. Suprabha Mahodaya.
Should I read it out again?
No, 1 minute. Give me a minute. I'll just put up what you need to read. Yeah, you can read from the Shriya.
Shya.
Shriya.
Shya. Shaya. Shya. Dhva. Nye.
Ye. Here, please note this J as in jnana does not come from Gakara and Yakara. Okay, let me, yeah. So let me make that absolutely clear to people. So, hang on. Okay, if you write this is wrong, not acceptable. Ashuddham. Jnana is jnana. This is how jnana is written. This is basically jakara, layojana, nyakara plus akara. Okay.
Mahodaya,
Ah.
how is it pronounced? Is it Jnana or Jnana? Judge,
Jnana, jnana, nya, nya. This one should be heard. Give me a minute. For some reason. Let me share my screen again. Yeah. Go ahead, Mahodaya.
Nye. Swaha.
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 Swaha. Swi. Swa.
Hmm.
Bhyam. Krauh.
Uttam. Dhanyavadah, Mahodaya. Brinda Mahodaya, prashna asti va?
Yes. This Jna that we are talking about now, it didn't figure in any of that Sanyuktakshirani also. Then what does it come under?
No, it is not a Sayuktakshirani technically. It is basically a Sayuktakshirani. As it is not a Vishesha Sayuktakshirani. It is a Sayuktakshara only.
Okay.
But it is not a Vishesha Sayuktakshara. That's all. See, the Vishesha Sayuktakshara was the Ksha, Dya, Tra and Shra. Right?
Yeah.
This is a combination of Jakara, Nya, that is Cha, Cha, Ja, Ja, Nya.
Okay.
That is all.
How is it different from Vishesh Aksharani? I didn't follow that.
It is not. It is the Sanyukta Akshara. That's all. Just like another Griya or Dya, Klai, Bli, or whatever.
Okay.
Is it because of the Anunasika Shabda involved in it?
There's an Anunasika Shabda involved in it. That is right.
One more
Many
question.
which involve Anunasika Shabda. Ishma, Ma, Sne.
Nga, Nya, Na, Na, Ma. These are Anunasika Shabdas which make, is it?
Yeah. So it is not special. There is nothing special about them. Just that the reason this gets it can be confusing sometimes because a lot of people go to make it as jnana. Even in English, when they write it, I've seen it being written as Gyan and all those things. Jnana. So now Gya is different from Gya. So this is Gya. So that's why I just wanted to highlight that. That's all. Nothing different from it. That's all.
Pronounced through nose.
Yeah, there should be a nasal. There should be a nasal. Anuswara should be heard. Anunasika. It's an Anunasika pada.
I have one more doubt. I have one more question. In Myam, you have an what is that? That Anki Matra, right? That Anki Matra, the dot on the top.
Dot on the top, yeah.
Yeah, that is Ang, right? How do you pronounce that?
For now, see the Anuswara, the default for Anuswara is Makara. Im, Om, etc. But then the rule changes depending on the following letter. That rule we will see at some later date. On a different
Okay.
day.
Now, if I have written makara plus yakara plus akara plus again makara, then it's wrong, is it?
It is technically not wrong because I pronounce it as myam. But for this reason, for the class that we are currently in, this contextually what we are doing, Anuswara would have been okay.
Oh, okay.
That's
but how do we differentiate now? Because after learning which will what is the following letter, then we'll be able to differentiate.
Yeah. If it's in the sentence, then it will be a different this one.
Oh, okay, fine.
But if you are stopping with a word, you're technically right. You should end with a makara.
Achha, if the sentence is ending with some myam, then makara is correct.
Is right, correct.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The same applies
We
with
will learn
also.
Learn these rules as we move on.
Okay. The same applies with the vram and the vyam and all.
Yeah, everything.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Aparna Mahodaya Prichita.
Acharya Ji, when you were teaching us the Sayukta Aksharani, if you see that it's K plus Sh and that becomes Ksha, which is pronounced the way it is broken down. But then here, when it's J plus Y plus A, why does the J and Y become G? Why is it not J? And sometimes I've noticed in Vedic, they say J instead of Gya. So
it is not Gya. That's exactly what I said. It is not Gya. It should be Nya.
So the G comes there, right? We say
no.
Or J
does not come there. We assume it is Ga. It is Cha, Ja, Jha, Nya. So Nya. Jnana. It sounds like Ga, but it is not Ga. So when we do next class, what we'll probably see is the origin of this sound, where that originates from. So Ga will originate from your kantha. This one will technically originate only from your taluka. That is the hanging, this one which is there. There should be no pronunciation of this nya from your kantha coming. Yeah. Jnana. Jnana.
It is a palatal touch, tongue touching the upper palate, hard palate.
Yes.
And sound comes from the nose.
Correct.
Jnana.
That is a technically right way of doing it. Whereas if you say jnana, it is from your throat, from your vocal cord.
Jnana.
So kavarga and chavarga pronunciation differs.
Yeah, we will see that next class. Okay. Next class I am not going to be there. Narayan Mahodaya will be there. He'll probably do that. Astva? Okay. If there are no other Nagaprabha Mahodaya. Uchita.
This dwau, the fifth one, dwauhu.
Dyauhu.
Dyauhu. And can I write the like dwa here? Dwa you have written like.
How can you write twa? It is not twauhu.
First write the and write yauhu.
No, that's exactly why we studied this. If we were to go back, that's why we studied this. Sorry. That's why we studied this Sayukta Aksharani, Vishesha Sayukta Aksharani. That's why we studied this. This is a Vishesha Sayukta Akshara.
Okay.
So if you write as the with a halan and a yakara after that, it may not be working out well. This is how it has to be written. Dyauhu. Dyaha or dya. Okay. Okay. Suprabha Mahodaya, I think 1 minute. Let's see. Somebody else also is there. No. Okay. Suprabha Mahodaya, ask your question.
Sir, is it Mahaprana or Alpaprana? Dya. Da plus ya plus adhya. Is
Alpa
it
prana.
alpha? Dya. That is
Yo.
adyata. Adyata, that is dya. Adyata.
Yauhu. The Yau which comes here is the Alpa prana. The Mahaprana, wait, did I have a Mahaprana here? No. Dhyana, if you want to write Dhyana, for instance,
Okay.
that you will not write with this. Dhyana will be Mahaprana. Correct?
Okay.
There you will write the Dhakara and then Yakara.
Dhanyavadam.
Astu. Okay. Then who else is there? No, let us see. Ramya Mahodaya Uchita.
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Gram, Shye. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Nanti, Nanti.
Yes, Nti.
Twi. Dwa.
Twi, what is this? What did you say this?
Na. Da. Na.
Na. This is Dma.
Ma. Okay, okay. Dma.
Dma.
Wa.
Dakara. Yojana Makara.
Dma. Okay, okay. Dma.
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 Dma. Dma.
Dma.
Dma.
And ba. Dba. Dakara plus bakara. Right? What is this? Dau.
Daihi. Shabdaihi.
Shabd. But ba is there first, right?
Shabdaihi. Daihi. Bdaihi. Bdaihi.
Bdaihi. Okay.
Bdaihi.
Bdaihi. Shayaha.
Shyaha.
Shyaha. Traihi. Shane.
Shne.
Ne. Shru. Shru.
Shru. Okay, the last three I did not say in the dictation. Now, out of the 32, how many got all right?
Shaha.
How many got all of them right?
Shaha.
You got all right. Fantastic. Jyotsna Mahodaya, Uchita. Jyotsna Mahodaya, unmute yourself and speak. You had a question.
No, I got all right.
Oh, you got all right. Fantastic. So I'm not bad at dictation then. Okay, one person got all right. Kanchan Mahodaya, how many?
Sir, only 10.
Only 10. So that is something.
Very bad.
This one. What happened?
Maybe while writing, I made a mistake.
No problems. No problems. That is all bound to happen. So let's see. Let's see what is the kind of. Okay, let me just stop this video sharing. Okay, let's do one thing. What is the kind of how many which was the toughest this one that you found to pronounce or to write or whatever? Just unmute yourself. People who have not spoken. Girija Mahodaya, then Jaydev Mahodaya.
Alpa Prana, Mahaprana. I made a lot of mistakes. When you say Mahaprana, I have written Alpa Prana there.
Okay.
When you say Mahaprana, I have written most of it Alpa Prana.
Alpa Prana. That's something you need to be a little more concentrate. Or you need to pay a little more attention. Shibani Mahodaya Uchita.
Sir, where I find most difficult is when I stopped writing the bifurcation, like Blihi, Pa Yojana, La Yojana, E Yojana, Visarga. So when I stop doing that and when I start looking at you, the way you're pronouncing, and then I think I felt that, I got you correct. But before that, it was a little difficult.
Yeah, so practice both the things together so that the next homework, very clear. So the next homework after 25th is going to be splitting these into the base, this one, and also have some where you have them split and then write them as the full Sayukta Akshara.
Yes, yes.
Okay, we'll give that as an exercise for
Yes.
everyone so that everybody is comfortable with it.
Yes.
The reason we are doing this is because we have a very strong, what is called an oral tradition in India. So just remember, just imagine about maybe 5,000-10,000 years ago or however long, nobody had pen and paper in their hands, and making a pen, that pen itself was out of those. This one you have to keep dipping in the ink and write on on that palm leaf and all those things. I mean, that would have been the most difficult task to ever do. They had to just hear somebody and then repeat whatever they had said. And we have a full tradition of Vedas which are preserved with the Swara, with this one for so many years. To give just a simple example, I'll just take the example of Sahana Vavatu. It is chanted as Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunakto, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, whether I chanted, whether Vinayji chants it, whether Jaykumarji chants it, whether Srinivasanji chants it, there is no way the intonations or anything can go wrong, can change. 50 people of us never met each other, never seen each other, never done anything. If you are going to chant together, it will exactly sound as one flow. Right? And they never had any paper, no pen, nothing. Today, with the book which gives me all the swaras with all the udatta, anudatta, how this one has to go, we struggle. But what we should appreciate is this is how our tradition has developed over so much of time. We have a very strong oral tradition. And that is how, in spite of so many things being lost, in spite of the whole of Nalanda burning for 3 months and losing a lot of things, our tradition is still preserved in a lot of ways because of certain oral traditions. Of course, I am not saying there is no written tradition at all. There is a strong written tradition, which is very different, which we will see sometime. So the point is that this is critical. Okay. Next time we will see how this has actually developed out into itself. I'll put out a couple of slides on the Ucharana Sthana, how much they have studied in depth, the 26 points from where sounds can emanate. All these things are very, very deeply studied throughout in our Shastras. So that's why it comes as Shiksha Vyakhya Syamaha Varnaswaraha Matra Balam Samasandhanaha Ityukta Shiksha Dhyayaha. This is what Taittiriya Upanishad says about when you get into learning. What are the basic building blocks of any building blocks of this Shastra? In Shiksha it says
phonetics,
Varna.
pronunciations.
Yes, Varna. Then the Swaras that we just spoke about, the Udatta, Anudatta, Swarita. Matra, that is Hrasva, Dirgha, Pluta. Right? Bala, Alpa Prana, Mahaprana. Sama and Sattana. Sama is the laya, whether it's to be in a very poetic way or it should be a gadya or a padya. Then the santana, where do you stop? How do you go forward? How much pauses do you give between a stop, full stop, and ardhamatra, etc. Right. So this is how our paddhati and things have developed. So I just wanted you to appreciate all that. So that's why I did this Shruti Lekhanam. We'll do some more Shruti Lekhanam probably in the other classes. I'm planning to do that. I don't know how Narayan Mohdaya will do it. Any other questions that we have here? Jyotika Mohdaya Uchita.
Although I faced a problem while writing few like what dictation you gave, but when you pronounced with the when you said the words, for example, anti, I was not able to understand. But when you said anti, I was able to write it properly.
Exactly.
So, similarly, shabdaihi. So that whether to write bha or ba, when you pronounced it, then I could understand.
Correct. So that's the reason I gave that with the word. Yes. With the word, where there were possible difficulties that I faced. But as we move to Padani, it will become easier.
Yes.
These things will go away.
Yeah.
Right there, but there will be other challenges where certain things we may mispronounce, for instance. Correct? Okay. Then who else? Chitra Mohdaya. Aparna Mohdaya, just 1 minute. We'll go to Chitra Mohdaya and come back to you. Chitra Mohdaya, Bhavati na uktavati adya. Asti va? Okay, she's not there. Meenakshi Mohdaya.
So this is my first Abhyas Varga, and I'm struggling with sounds now. I mean, I'm not able to relate with pronunciations. I have a Hindi background. So there's a pronunciation is a lot different. Since childhood, I'm studying Hindi and writing in Devanagari, and also there's a lot of difference in the pronunciation. So because of that, there's a lot of confusion when writing.
Astu. So that's why we'll give that as an exercise. Probably you'll be able to appreciate it better when we give it as an exercise.
Yes, sir, because I struggled this thing. I'm studying Sanskrit, one of the teacher also. So that time also I had a lot of issues in when I'm coming to pronunciation, correct pronunciations, because in Hindi there's a lot of difference.
Correct.
Sarga, sounds. So it will be very good if you could help us in that. More pronunciations, hearings.
In theory. Okay. How do you want that to happen?
Sir, like to practice with you more and more. Like initially, when you practice, as we started today's class, everybody was getting a chance to read it out. So I believe if there are more times we practice it, then it will be improved.
Correct.
More reading, and then dictation also. But reading, I believe more.
Yes, we will do that. We have another 10 minutes. We will do that. Now you will be the one who will be doing it. We'll just finish up Aparna question and come back. Okay. Aparna Mohdaya Uchita.
Acharya ji, when you said Sahana Bhavatu, I believe should be Sa and Her, Sakara, Hakara, Sa and Her. And when I write Saha, which is Sa and Visarga, that will also be Saha. So is there any differentiation in the pronunciation?
Yes. Okay. Technically, it depends on the word. Once we get into the word, this one, that is where we'll get to know how to use that aha and the visarga and hakara. Okay. So, for instance, I'll give a simple example. Brahma. Right? Brahma. You are not going, Brahma is written as Brahma and then pronounced as Brahma. Hakara should come there. You cannot write Brahmaha and then say it is Brahma. So that is why we have a very clear rule that says that it has to be with, okay, let's not get that. Let us say Saha. Ramena Saha Lakshman, Ramaha Lakshmena Saha Gatavat. Let me use a simple thing. There Saha is hakara only. Another usage is saha gacchati. Saha is with the visarga. Now, these two cannot be differentiated if you don't know the nuances of the language. I've seen a lot of people who come to on day one and I say, that's exactly the reason I did not start the class anywhere with saha and yeshaha. If you go to any other class, they would probably start with saha gacchati or yesha vrikshaha, saha manushyaha or whatever it goes on. I really did not want to do that just because to make sure this differentiation can be brought out very clearly here. And I started with aksharas. Okay.
Mahodaya,
So,
so the pronunciation of visarga will change with the subsequent letter than the saha, where we pronounce it as it is, but visarga will change when we are pronouncing with the other word.
So that is exactly what, that's why they are called ayoga vahau. They are very dependent. Consider ayoga vahau as two fluid things given to you. They will fit the shape of the container. They can become a solid, they can become a liquid, they can be a gas, whatever kind of thing. If people are conversant with physics, they will know that fluids can never be fixed or constant. They take the shape of things that they are in, or they can only be put into certain, they take the properties of certain boundary conditions they are put under. And these strictly need boundary conditions. They cannot have an independent existence. Ayoga vahau are like that. Okay. So that's where the visarga and anuswara will have a lot of rules. We will see them sometime. As we go ahead, we will see them. Okay. Astu Mahodaya. Suprabha Mahodaya.
So the 29th Samyukta Akshara, I didn't get it
You
properly.
did not get the 29th Samyukta Akshara, 30 to 29. Dva, no, Dma. Was that the one?
Ma.
Dma.
It is ka plus ma plus a.
Correct. Dakara plus bakara plus
Akara plus akara.
Dma. Dma.
Ma. It is, I thought it was ba. It is ma then.
This is Dma. Next one is Bha.
That one I wanted.
30th.
Da plus bha. Dva.
Bha.
Dva.
Bha.
Ha.
Astu va? Okay.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavadah.
Dhanyavadah.
Astu. Meenakshi Mahodaya. Yes, you can start your pronunciation. We have another 4 minutes. And oh, sorry, I think I removed you from. Sorry.
No, I'm here only.
Yes, Meenakshi Mahodaya, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can start from the beginning and have a full-fledged practice of this.
Bliha. Kleha.
Blihi. Blihi.
Blihi. Kleha.
Klaihi.
Klehi.
This is exactly where I wanted to make sure the visarga. That was exactly the question that was asked earlier. Visarga do not have an independent standing. They cannot be hakara. It is not a hakara. Saha is different from sehe. Right? So, klaiha. If you say klaiha, I'll put a hakara there.
Hakara. Okay.
It has to be klaihi.
Aiha.
Aihi.
Klaihi. Greha.
Gryaha.
Greha.
Gryaha.
Greha. Shmiha.
Kshmi, what is the, with ikara, what is the visarga?
Iha.
No. With aha, I, what did we do?
Iha.
I, he.
Oh, I.
So what will be with E?
Shmiha.
Shmihi.
Shmihi.
It will be the same.
Okay, with ikara, visarga is iha.
If it is aha, with it is aha.
It's aha.
Uhu.
Uha.
Rh. Ehe. The last part, whatever is this one, the visarga will take that. It will get attached to it. Just take it as it is attaching to it. Shmihi.
Shmiha.
Shmihi.
Dvauha. Dvauha.
Okay, do it this way. Take out the visarga. Don't pronounce the visarga. Without visarga, how will you pronounce it?
Dvau.
It is not dvau. This is not dvau. We just saw what this. Dya.
Dyauha.
No. Take out the visarga. Don't go to the visarga.
Dyau.
Dyau. What is the last part that you are, what is the last thing that you're pronouncing?
Au.
Au. In that au, you hear a oo sound. Dyau. Now tell the visarga with it. Dyau.
Dyauhu.
Dyauhu.
Uhu. Okay.
Dyauhu. Dyauhu.
Dyauhu. Myam. Tra.
Sra.
Shra.
Risha. The refa is before the sha. So sparsha. You've heard of sparsha?
After myam.
After myam is, after myam is, what did you say? Sra.
Sra.
Correct. Sra. Sra is correct.
It is shra.
Risha. Correct.
Shwaha. Twa.
Twa.
Twa. Tya. Vram.
Rivam. Rivam.
Rivam. Okay, Ra is first, Ra. And then Vo.
Purvam. Just like Purvam.
Vyam. Sye. Jya. Traya. Shreya. Dva. Ye.
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 Ye. It should be nasal.
Ye. Ye. Swaha. Swi.
Svi.
Pa. Swi. Pa. Dhyam. Krauha.
Krauhu. Just how you did, no?
Krauhu. Gram. She.
Right.
Tya. Niti.
Nti.
Nti.
Nti. Anti. Nti.
Nti. Twi.
Twi.
Twi. Dma.
Dma.
Dma. Dva.
Dva.
This is the plus bha.
The plus bha. Dakara plus bhakara.
Dbha. Badaiha.
Shabdaihi. How do you say shabdaihi? Say shabdaihi.
Shabdaihi.
Now do daihi.
Badaihi.
Daihi.
Badaiha.
Daihi.
Badaiha.
Not her.
Badaiha.
Okay, just leave out the bakara. Daihi.
Daihi.
Now add the bakara.
The Daih.
Daihi.
Daihi. Daihi. Shah.
Ksyaha.
Traih. Shne. Shru.
Uttama. Uttama. Okay. Practice it a little. Okay. Dhanyavada. I think we have overshot the time also, but nevertheless, we'll take the questions. Okay. Anybody who wants to leave, who is in a hurry to leave, is okay. We can close it, but I will take the questions nevertheless. We are already 4 minutes over time. If anybody wants to leave, please feel free to. But I'll hear out these questions. Please, Suprabha Mahadaya Uchita. Or you're on mute.
No, I forgot to lower the hand.
Okay, no problem. That's right.
Sorry.
So, Subramani Mahadaya Uchita.
Mine is not a question, it's just a suggestion.
Please.
In the Swara, there are two specials, I and O. I can be thought of A and E. So the last Swara is E. Similarly, O, it is A plus U. So the last sound is U. The people should remember this. I just wanted to suggest that.
We will learn that over time. The thing is, this one that comes as a Visheshana, that is a Taddita. So those are not right away, we don't right away get into that because the Sutra clearly says that it comes with A, I, R and things like that. At some point, we'll get to that more there. So it goes with the Taddita. You're right about what you're saying. And generally, it goes to when it becomes a pada. But there are also exceptions to that rule, unfortunately. Not all O come because of a and a O. There's an independent standing of O itself. So that's why we don't usually always make it that way. But there are certain recursive rules that make it that way. It is not Nitya. There is what is called Nitya and Anitya. I'm not sure if you have gone through that. But this is not Nitya. That's all I just wanted to say. This rule.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mahadaya. Dhanyavada. Jyotsna Mahadaya. Any other questions, Subroni Mahadaya? Or any other observation? You need to unmute.
No. Thank you.
Okay, Dhanyavada. Jyotsna Mahadaya Uchitam. Or
Mahadaya, Tatra, Risha, we are saying. That is, no, not that. The Shakara with the Refa.
Risha, Sparsha, Astu.
It is Halantara plus Sha.
Halanta
So it should be,
Repa.
so the pronunciation should be Risha. Hafra. Risha or Rasha.
Risha. Hafra.
Risha.
As in Sparsha.
And one more doubt I have, the Gunitaksharani and the Sayuktaksharani. Gunitaksharani is the Vyanjana plus Swara. Means
yes.
K plus A. Ka yojana A. Akara is K. And in Sayuktaksharani, you've given examples like K plus K is equal to K, the Halanta, the Vyanjana.
Yes. At least two Vyanjanas.
Oh, initially they should be Vyanjanas and then we can add the Swaras.
Yeah. So Vyanjana makes another new Sayukta Vyanjana. That added with this one will have a Gunita Sayukta Akshara.
So, but basically the initial two should be Vyanjanas.
Yeah. That's why it is called a Sayukta Akshara.
Dhanyavad.
Vishwa Mahadaya Uchita.
How should we go about reading those books?
I think you're on mute. Or rather, no, you need to be a little louder.
Yeah, so we purchase some of the books which are prescribed. Is my voice audible?
Yeah, I think this one somewhere there's a noise.
Oh, okay. So question is like we got some of which are prescribed.
Again, not audible.
Okay, so not a.
You can do, I think, and type out the message in chat if you can.
I think he's asking that a few books have been prescribed and he wants to know how to use them.
How to use them? Okay, we'll come to them. Yeah. That is something that we are just waiting for everybody to get the book. What we will then do is we'll probably start prescribing homeworks from there. You can read them as well. They are fun to read as well. Those books are straightforward. This one to go about also. So you can start, no problems. But what we will do is we will start. Our need was to ensure that we get homeworks and we start giving out from it. Okay. Kanchan Mohdaya, any points, anything that you want to add to?
Sir, I want to ask one, the third word. And this, how do we pronounce it? I always get confused about it.
Third one, is it?
Klaihi Anantaram.
Griyaha.
Griyaha. Griyaha. I mean, it is Ga with Halant, Refa, Ya with Halant, and Anuswara.
Gakara, Refa, Yakara, Akara, Visarga.
Visarga.
Griyaha. Uttamam. Any other questions? Anything else? Okay. Sarvebhyah bahu dhanyavadaha. Dashanimesha adhikam abhavat. It's already 10 minutes past, and thank you so much for cooperating. So next week onwards, Shri Narayana Mahodaya agachati saha eva pathayati api. So thank you so much. It was really fun. We'll keep interacting something like this whenever we get chances. You're all welcome to. I take the Thursday evening batch. So this presentation is already out and everybody has this presentation, I'm sure. All right. So anything, any questions, anything, you can reach out to Narayan Mahodaya, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to pretty much anyone, just put it in the group. All of them will be answered. So personally, would love to hear back from you. Any feedback, anything else, do reach out, do give it. We'll keep interacting as we go ahead also. Okay.
Dhanyavadaha Mahodaya.
Dhanyavadaha. We will do the Shanti mantra and stop it. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Yaena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Om Brahmanebhyo Shvamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Shobharahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Aputra Putrinas Santu Pautrinaha Adhanat Sadhanat Santu Jivantu Sharadam Shatam Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhat Bhavet Harihi Om Shri Krishna Arpadamastu Shri Guru Charanarvinda Arpadamastu Shri Gurubhyo Namaha